Cool. Well, I figured maybe our word should be injury, and we can talk about all of our fun
Thankfully, I
in
don't really have one. Should
that's
we just
true.
lie and pretend like we picked that word?
That's way too coincidental.
No, I think we'd be like, this is our podcast, and it is a word with a girl, and today the word is injury or surgery. Or
Surgery.
I mean, you've had too
I've
many.
had more surgeries than injuries.
Yeah, what are the doctors saying?
I don't know yet. I haven't gotten a call from my PCM who read the radiology report today, but I made friends with the MRI tech. She actually ended up being best friends with the secretary of the school that I like, who I text all the time. She's like, "Oh my gosh, Laura's my best friend. We've been friends since second grade, so we took a selfie together." Anyways,
That's cute.
when she was really cool because as we were like, because it was like an MRI machine outside, so I had to like. Thankfully, I had this knee scooter. They would have pushed me in a wheelchair, but we went all the way and I went on like a lift to get into this thing, and she was like, "Okay, well, with this MRI, we're gonna have to take your earrings out, blah blah blah." And I was like, I'm familiar with MRIs. I get them all the time. I was like, yeah, I have MS." And I was like, "Yeah, I've been in a 17." She was like, "Oh my gosh, that's the coolest thing," because it's like kind of rare.
Oh,
And and
the
so
kind of MRI machine? Is that what it is?
yeah, it's like a really really high res that's only in like research centers like NIH. And it's like for MRI techs, it's kind of like a big deal. So, anyways, as we were talking and everything, so I get out of the MRI and she's like, "What do you do?" And I was like, "Oh, I sub and blah blah blah." And then my pictures were up on the screen, and I was like, "I know you're a tech and you're not supposed to like say anything, but." And she looked at me and she was like, "I can't tell you if it's torn or not, but I'm
Oh.
just not sure." But you could see, and the doctor did this test, which I should have had Alex tell me what else that they needed to do. So there's this test called the Thompson test when you lay on your stomach and they squeeze your calf, like your feet hang off the table, right? And when you squeeze your calf, your foot should flex. Like that should be a reflex. And they didn't do that at the ER. He was like, "I think it's a partial tear. I can still feel some connection, whatever." And then my PA was like, let me give it a try." And he did it and he was like, "Yeah, there's nothing." Meaning like
Severed.
Oh, okay.
maybe.
So what were you doing?
And I need to do like a story time. Playing volleyball. I I don't know. I can't remember exactly if a ball was coming over the net and I stepped to pass or stepped to hit or I was going to hit. I can't really remember. But as I hit the ball, it felt like somebody hit me with a kettlebell from behind, like whacked me super hard, and I was like
Just in that one spot.
just in that one spot, and I fell flat on my face. And I laid there for a second. I was like, I'm playing volleyball. It doesn't make sense that somebody would have hit me from behind, and I was like, "Oh, shit, I know exactly what just happened." My
Really?
Achilles. Yep.
How did you
It
know
just,
that?
just because I, almost, could visualize it, I was like, "I know exactly what just happened," because this happened to Stacy, my old roommate. She was playing volleyball, planted wrong, and severed her, ruptured her Achilles, and then with dad. So then what was horrible was people were like they thought I passed out, and I didn't because it didn't really hurt. I don't know how to explain it, but I was just laying there just kind of processing everything and I was like, "I'm pretty sure I ruptured my Achilles," and somebody, comes behind, pull and I'm like, "Don't touch me," "Oh my gosh, please,"
Oh my god.
but thankfully, Aaron and Kathy and Johnny had come to my game because I was like, "Hey, you guys wanna come see me play volleyball?" And so they came to my game, and so then they were able to Kathy took my car, followed Aaron to the hospital, we went to the ER, and then Kathy and Aaron and Johnny they went to my house, to our house, let Angus out, got dinner, came back because I was at the ER for, 3 hours, so it was actually really helpful, for them to be there, but
Darn it.
yeah. But what's really cool, yesterday, God was just so good, and because I knew I needed to go see my PCM in order to get a referral to see an ortho and get an MRI. And after we got off the phone, Molly, I was kind of obviously a little upset. And the PA was so sweet, and he was like, "Let me go talk to somebody really quick," and he's like, "They can get you in an MRI right now, like, here on base," and I was like, "Oh my gosh, thank you so much." And then I got the referral. I called over to Wash U, which is, like, a place that a friend of mine got an Achilles surgery done, and she was like, "Yeah, I don't know, like, the soonest I can see is, like, late February." And I was like, she's like, "Let me see if I can email the team and see if anybody can take you in sooner," and she called back and was like, "How about Thursday?" And I was like, "Perfect." And so I got the appointment notification today, and I looked him up, and he happens to be the surgeon for the St. Louis MLS soccer team. And he was a soccer player himself. He like works with athletes. He's like a sports medicine, like orthopedic surgeon.
Cool.
So that gives me like a lot of like hope that like I'm in good hands who will get me.
So you're getting surgery this Thursday?
No, I think it's like an initial appointment just so because he has to like read the MRI and see
Oh,
everything. And then my prayer is that next week I can get surgery.
oh gosh. And they have to like put you under for all like it's like legit
Yeah,
big
it's
time.
like a major surgery.
And then we're
Having
just praying that she's able to go on the cruise.
Oh my gosh, I didn't even think about that.
No, that's why I'm like so selfishly
I didn't even
bummed.
that didn't even cross my mind.
Yeah.
I've been doing Taylor Swift math currently, where I'm like, okay, according if everything goes according like the way that it happened with my friend, it's 3 weeks in a cast, no movement. So if I get surgery next week, 3 weeks from then is maybe end
Like
of
first week of
February
March.
or first week of March. So
Yeah.
3 weeks in a cast, then a month in a boot. So by then I should be in a boot by our cruise. I'm just going to be sitting around doing a whole lot of nothing anyways. So I'd rather do that around people I love in a beautiful place. A lot of people on cruises are immobile anyways, so like and accessible. So that's kind of my prayer, but I'm gonna ask and then I'll ask the doctor if it's even like a realistic
Mm,
possibility.
I didn't even think about that.
Mhm.
Ah,
Yeah, because like
Yeah.
my flight isn't refundable.
I don't think ours is either.
Like the cruise is, but and I just was like, I cannot go on a cruise by myself.
oh no, that would be
No, it'd be
terrible.
There's no
stupid. It'd
way.
be stupid.
That would not be fun at all.
I know. And then I was like, "Well, you're not gonna go with
What
Kevin
about
and
mom and
Nina
dad?
because
Can mom
that's
and dad
weird."
come with you?
Not in March. There's no way mom would go.
So anyway, so I was like, that would have been like, we all need this. So I'm like, come on, Lord. Like so far timing, like things have moved pretty quickly. And I'm just like, my prayer is that this injury is significant enough and like urgent enough that they'd be like, yeah, we'll squeeze you in.
I mean, it seems like
Yeah,
an Achilles surgery is like an immediate
it
one.
seems pretty debilitating. I mean, especially since it's your
Yes,
right one. You can't
I
drive.
know. Which is a total pain because now I'm like,
Well, so Kevin's not there. When does Kevin get home?
Saturday night.
Oh man,
Yeah,
it's just the worst, weirdest timing of all.
yeah. Well, what's
And you're
so
in such good
crazy?
shape. That's the most annoying part. It's like you're fit. Why? I mean, if you weren't fit and you were like, like stumbling everywhere, and but you're
Yeah, because
like,
it often happens to, like, morbidly obese or but the age range is, like, 35 to 42. It's more likely in men than women. What's weird is I was in game 2 and a half by the time it happened, so it wasn't like I was cold, like, I was warm. I had been jumping and spiking and doing all the things, and then all of a sudden
was it your more weak ankle?
well, so that's the same ankle that I wrecked surfing, like, a year, 2 years ago. You remember when I, like,
Mhm.
landed and but what the PA said, he was like, "Actually, like, your Achilles and those muscles don't, like" and I don't know, maybe
Mm,
Alex would have a different opinion, but it's n not I don't think it's really that connected, so I think it was just
okay.
a freak accident, and,
Huh.
there's this funky, like, pirate looking crutch thing, like, that, like, hooks onto your knee and it looks like a peg leg. It's called, like, an I Walk Free, so you don't have to have crutches, and she said that he used it and it was a game changer, so I may actually get one of those. I'll ask about it on Thursday, but
Well, mom and dad were sharing about dad's Achilles, and I don't know if you guys remember, but after he had the surgery, I don't know, a few weeks, was it Easter? I can't remember, but we drove down to Phoenix and it got swollen and infected.
yeah.
And when they came home one night, dad was in the bathroom and mom went in there and there's blood everywhere
God.
because the
Because the
blood
blood
had
had
pooled.
pooled and then just, like,
Ugh,
So
gross.
it does make me a little nervous thinking about you flying on an airplane, elevation changes, and like,
Well, the flight for you guys is not nearly as bad.
oh yeah, it's not as far.
there I think it's nonstop there, but then we have to go to LaGuardia and here. The thing is I'm like, I would be willing to pay an upgrade or really sweet talk somebody to be like, "Hey, here's the deal. Is there a way I can get in an emergency exit or something to be
Mhm.
able to elevate my foot?" Like that or be like, "I'll sit in a
Right.
jump seat,"
Would you
something.
like an emergency situation on this flight, or would you like to put me where I have room?
Ugh.
Or could you drive?
To Miami? Oh my god, that would take forever.
I think that's almost, well, not worse, but I don't know.
I guess that's true.
I mean, I
Miami
can't
is
remember what.
literally all the way down at the bottom of Florida,
Yeah,
and
That'd be
that's like
long.
12 hou that's like 15, 16 hours from where we lived in Fort Walton.
oh,
Yeah, that's fair.
So anyways, so I'm just, like, putting out good vibes or whatever people say, you know? No, I'm just praying that, like, maybe it'll all
well, I put apparently Laura's mom is, like, a major prayer warrior, and anything that she prays for, it just, like, happens.
beautiful.
So I told her, "Sweet."
Yeah, we need surgery next week, we need quick recovery, we need no infections, we need all the things to just happen beautifully.
Does your, like, health and strength factor into that? I mean, it seems like it should.
In terms of, like, recovery?
Mhm.
I would hope so, yeah.
Or I guess, well, yeah, does MS play a role in all that?
No, I mean, my left leg fatigues out pretty quickly, but luckily I'm not using crutches as much because I can't it's like my
Have
leg
you ever
just, like
had a major surgery like this? Like
my pinky.
reconstruction?
Mhm.
Oh, pinky. Sorry. No,
I mean, it was a legit
it was, but
surgery.
no, it just sounds funny.
But, like, that's pretty pathetic compared to what I'm gonna be going through, but that and, like, my port, but
Oh, yeah.
s yep,
Wow.
but,
I just hate that you're there by yourself. That just sucks. Like, are you blue? Are you sad? Are you depressed? Or
it kinda comes in waves, especially when I turn, like, worship music because I just was like, I need some encouragement, but then it, like, makes me cry, but I'm okay, like, the reality of, like, that feels really daunting, especially with, like,
mm,
this year of what I was, like, hoping to be doing or
yeah.
whatever. And then I talked with another girl from church and same thing, like, she got surgery in September. She's like, "I'm finally walking now." I don't know, maybe somehow, like,
Mm,
my MS, maybe has given me kind of, like, some resilience of just, like,
for
"Okay, like,
sure.
here's this new setback, but how do we" like, I'm finding, like, opportunities in it rather than it being, like, this like, yeah, it totally sucks, the idea I think the hard part will be, like, mentally getting back out on a court and trusting my body. I think
Totally.
that's gonna be the hard part for me, and I understand, like, surgery's gonna suck, I know I'm gonna be in pain, all of that, but at the same time, like, even just in the last few days, it's given me such a new perspective of, like, this is what people with disabilities and limited mobility deal with every day, and the challenges of, like,
Mhm.
doing everyday things. It's exhausting and it's hard, and so now it's just kind of like, I don't know, it's kinda giving me new things to think
That's
about
amazing.
and I'm now on the receiving end of encouragement and you've got this, like, because 'cause
Mhm.
I'm usually like, "Ah, it's been 18 years since I've had MS, like, I know you're just newly diagnosed, you'll get through this," you know, and now I'm the one on the receiving end, so it's just kind of, like, interesting to have roles switched.
Yeah.
So, yeah,
Yeah, this
but
says standing or walking jobs can return after 4 to 6 weeks, but maybe sooner depending on comfort and swelling.
we we could be in luck.
And also, at least you don't have a demanding job. Like, you don't have to, like,
Seriously,
use PTO
no,
and,
I know.
Mhm.
like,
It's a huge blessing.
that's awesome.
Well, and I
I
can
mean, you don't get to
still
sub. Can you still sub?
well, I don't know. The
Or you
campus
might
is
not even
really
choose to if it's
the
uncomfortable and
campus
stuff.
yeah. The campus is super huge and not very accessible, so I don't particularly wanna be, like, dodging kids in an e-scooter,
No. I feel like if you
but
don't
with
have to, gosh, no, don't do
no,
it.
but I can still teach my classes, so I have 3 classes this week. Yes, today, Friday, and Saturday, and they're all virtual. I mean, getting downstairs was fine.
Oh.
I just sat on my butt and then, like, did a dip and scoot, 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 and then I, like, got onto my knees and then, like, walked on my knees to the desk chair, got in the desk chair, rolled in the desk chair, and then got into my gym and did it, and then I rolled back in the chair to the stairs, got on the floor, and then did, like, 21 dips or however many stairs there were, so, um, it works.
Okay.
It's possible, um,
Oh, man. Does
but I had,
your
like, a
do the people you're doing class for know what happened?
well, I shared with them because I realize how like, a little bit difficult it is to do a class because I can't really put weight on my right foot, so if I'm trying to do something with my left foot, I really have to use my core to, like, sit up, and my hip flexor is just, like, wrecked on my right side because it's just, like, always in this elevated position, and but I was like, "Hey, this is why I do what I do to and now I get to show you, like, really no matter what your limitation,
In
you
real
really
life.
can moving." And I was, like, sweating in my own class. Normally, I don't because they're not that challenging, but I was literally using
Gosh.
everything
Oh.
to move and, so it was
Wow. That's probably really inspiring for people to see that.
yeah. Yeah. So,
Wow.
anyway, so I'll do that a couple more times this week, and then so at least I can bring in some income that
Hmm.
way.
Girl,
So,
you cray in
I'm
the
like,
best way
"Well,
possible, but you're crazy.
I know, it may bite me in the butt later where I'm like,
Well,
"Yeah,
because
what was
it's
I
like,
thinking?"
just like allow yourself to heal. You're not advised to fly after surgery for about 6 weeks.
Is it too close? What's
Mm,
like the
we're gonna be at
I
5
mean,
weeks next
we're
week.
at 5 weeks right now.
Oh,
We're at 6 weeks. On the 5th, it was 6 weeks.
Okay.
So, anyways, maybe
maybe
this surgeon
Thursday. Maybe Thursday he'll be like, "If you're ready, let's go today." And you'll be
Kevin
like,
doesn't want me to
"Yeah."
do it when he's not here.
Could mom fly out?
No,
No,
it's
she's in
tax
tax
season.
season.
If I wasn't on baby house arrest, I would come.
You could bring Annie with you.
That'd be crazy. I mean, I have Kathy and Aaron and a ton of church people here, but I would hate to do it without Kevin. I think that would stress him out because
Yeah.
his test is on Saturday, like a really big one. That's like the final one. So even if they can get me in like Tuesday morning, like that would be perfect, you know. Um, because who knows, like maybe because this surgeon works with professional athletes, like their turnaround time is probably somewhat quicker. Not saying that he's gonna do, like, a janky job, he'll probably maybe do a really excellent job, and maybe it's not as
Mhm.
bad when they get in, and then it's, like, not as bad. I don't know.
D Do they use cadavers or, like, your hamstring, or what do they use?
Nope, they just,
Yeah.
like, literally just pull and I think.
Yank it and stitch it back together? Gross.
But now like, anytime I see injuries of ankles, like, it always makes me cringe, and now it's, like, even more so I, like, try not to look at, like, pictures and stuff because it just grosses me out.
Just like this.
Yeah, my foot was super floppy. I'm like, "How did dad walk? How do people walk with this?" Like, it's your foot doesn't
Yeah,
work. I don't
right,
get it. I don't get it.
right. The stability is no longer there. So
No,
it's
so it's
like,
like because you put your foot down, but you can't even push off your toes because you don't have a calf to push off.
Yeah, avoid long distance travel for 4 weeks.
Beautiful.
it
I
would just
mean,
be
use your charm to get him to do it fast.
but how awful would it be if there was an emergency situation on a cruise and they have to come out with a helicopter and come get you?
Amazing. I'll go viral.
Like, that would just be so bad.
I know. I'll use my judgment, like, if he advises no,
Yeah.
then we'll just have but Kevin was even saying if that ends up happening, like, we'll just postpone and go on May, like, your last day of school, Molly, and we'll go or something, you know?
Mm,
And
yeah.
and maybe there will be some kind, gracious people in the airline industry if I send them a picture of my ankle or something that they would be willing to,
Or
like,
you get like a
Mhm.
doctor's note.
give even
Yeah, we
you
should have added it to the
I couldn't
insurance.
I couldn't figure out how to do it. It doesn't because I was asking Kathy about it. I was like, "Okay, if I got insurance, does that cover my flight?" She's like, "If it wasn't a package deal, then no." And I don't think the flights we bought were refundable.
And we can't buy the insurance now, right? I don't think
I
you
don't
can do
know.
that feels dishonest.
But like, who'd you get tickets with?
American, but I bought it on Capital One, but I didn't get their trip whatever thing, which would have covered it.
Ah,
But it was like $120
yeah, that's crazy. And the likelihood of you using it is pretty slim.
I know.
unless they
Well,
give
I
it to
mean,
me as like a credit.
like call them and ask, be like, you know, I mean, let's just wait until Thursday when we know one way or the
Mhm.
other. Obviously, things can happen even from now. There's so many things up in the air. But yeah, I'm just hoping that people will be willing to like give us credit. Like, we'll use you again. We'll use our tickets or we'll use the money. Like, just not right now. The most inconvenient thing ever.
No. Well, and the last thing you wanna do is be, like, in a bikini with a boot on.
Oh, I don't even know if I'd put on a bikini. I'd probably just be wearing shorts the whole time and use like a
'Cause I don't
beach
think you're
wheelchair.
allowed to go in water.
No,
Oh
which is
gosh.
fine. It's fine. Like, if I can just like look at the ocean, enjoy good drinks. Well, probably not drinks if I'm on pain meds, but like read a book, like just really
Oh
chill
my
and do nothing.
gosh.
Like legitimately do nothing. If I'm gonna be sitting at home, why can't I be doing it on the beach?
I mean, yes, but gosh, that's, expensive to just be sitting.
I don't know, maybe it'd be good for my mental health.
True. Yes, for
I can
sure.
still enjoy silent disco. I can still enjoy karaoke. I can still enjoy it's like
That's true.
cruises can and are accessible.
Right, people going on wheelchairs all the time, right?
Yep, scooters.
I mean, that's absolutely true. Ugh, I'm just so sad for you.
You're supposed to keep your foot elevated. I feel like if you stayed put and kept it elevated for 4 weeks and got yourself an emergency exit row on the flight.
And I might even see if, like, somebody has, like, a scooter, like a legit scooter. Because then if I can always just, like, have my foot elevated in anywhere we're going,
Mhm.
like, just being really intentional with that.
I don't think it's a good idea. I would just hate for it to just become more of a headache for you.
Well,
That's true. It's just hard to be like, "Oh, we're out
Total.
7, $800."
Oh, for
And
sure.
that's just the flights.
But you don't
Because the
wanna
cruise you can bump, like, whatever, but it's the flights that are non-refundable.
but you don't wanna make, like, a bad decision that Emily has, like an infection or
She's not gonna do anything that she can't do.
I don't know.
She's not gonna risk
It's
it.
just, like, such an invasive thing that I don't know, maybe you'll be fine. Maybe it'll be like maybe by that time it'll be like, "No, we're good."
yeah,
What does Kevin think?
he wants to go.
Even without you?
No, but he thinks I
Oh,
can do it. But he also has never had major surgery, you know,
Oh, has he ever broken anything?
his hand, I think. I think I'm just gonna hope for the best, and we'll go from there, like
I mean, I can speak to the ACL reconstruction. That was intense. And I was, like, young and spry. Granted, I don't know what the comparison is.
I don't know.
how long is this surgery?
I don't know, but it's outpatient, like, I don't get admitted or anything, I go home.
Mm. Yeah, I think I did too. Because I
But, like,
can
if he can do, like, a really solid job, clean incision, keep it clean, keep it elevated, keep it from getting swollen, keep up on meds, like
yeah, maybe healing will be pretty quick because
yeah.
you're healthy, you
Yeah, it
know?
takes 30 minutes to an hour.
Wow.
What? That's it?
That's what it says.
Well,
That is crazy.
Probably a few hours all total. because this one
Sure.
says outpatient procedure usually lasting a few hours. Achilles surgery takes only about 30 minutes to an hour, and you'll go home the same day.
That's insane.
And is yours a rupture or a tear? Are those
I don't
different?
know. I asked that and he didn't really like say one way or the other. But he said it also depends on, is it just the Achilles or the other tendons and stuff intact, like
Mm,
behind it?
mm.
So there's a lot of like unknowns until Thursday when I'll find out for sure of like everything. The goal is surgery next week. That's the goal.
Mhm.
Which really
Like
sucks.
early Monday morning.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, the other sucky part is Kevin bought us Valentine's Day date to the symphony next Saturday
Shoot.
with our worship pastor and his wife.
Thanks.
I was like, he's like, "You can still come," and I'm like, "I don't know. Go, like, go without me. I don't know if I'd be up for it."
And I think you'll have to, like, tread the line of I think you are capable of a lot and you can do a lot, but it's like, should you, you know?
Yeah,
Emily's smart though. She knows her body better than anyone
For
else I
sure, but
know.
I'm just saying, like,
don't
you
be
are in
like,
good
really
shape.
listen. Like, I really need to like have some wisdom and discernment of like what I can say yes to and what's not worth it. The symphony, if I miss it, it's not the end of the world. I don't care that much about that. Where I'm like, Kevin, you can still go. I
Yeah.
don't know. So, but it's hard to make plans right now when I don't really know what's to come.
Mhm.
Maybe he'll just be like, "Well, it's actually not so bad. You have 12 weeks in a boot, minimal
Yeah,
surgery."
maybe you won't need
I don't
surgery
know.
at all.
I don't know. I don't know.
That'd be
That's
cool.
true. Maybe
Because
that's one of the best case scenarios.
Yeah, no surgery.
In Europe, they don't do surgery. They do everything they can, but I'm like, "How does it heal back if it's torn?" Like, that doesn't make sense to me.
When you do put can you put weight on it at all?
I don't.
That's probably smart.
But I can move my toes around and stuff, and, like, when I was sleeping today, like, my foot just went "Meow," almost like a reflex. I was like, "That might be a good sign."
Hmm.
Hmm, weird.
So
Because
maybe
there's a
it's
good
already healing.
I don't know. There's, like it's also how sometimes when they're, like, trying to do your reflexes, but, like, you're thinking about it too much and nothing really happens, and he's just a PA, like, I know he sort of knows his stuff, but he's not, like this isn't his specialty, and so I don't wanna fully rely on, like, what he has to say, you know? He's just doing what he thinks is right,
Mhm.
rather than whomever this guy is literally the director of the sports medicine orthopedic surgery, like, he's
Is he
legit.
the only one, or how did you get connected to him?
He was the one that said he had availability.
Dang.
Yeah, because the scheduler just emailed the department, 3 doctors, and he got back and said Thursday.
That's so great.
Yeah, and he,
Oh
like,
my gosh, you
specializes in
should, like,
soccer players.
wear your soccer jersey or something.
I
I
know,
don't know,
right?
somehow, like, bring it with you or
Right, like, "Hey, and
something.
he was a soccer player himself, so I feel like we're gonna bond. I just feel like he's gonna, like, do me right, you know?
Yes.
Yeah.
You have so much going for you too, like MS, athlete, fitness influencer, all like, so many things.
Mhm.
That's what was funny because when I got to the ER, the guy was, he was I was like, "Are you gonna be able to get an MRI today?" He's like, "No, not unless you're a professional athlete," and I was still wearing my volleyball jersey and my gear, and I was like, "Hello, like, aren't you gonna, like, do something for me?" But it was funny. Yeah, life just throws you curveballs and you gonna adjust to it. I don't know.
Yeah.
We're just really gonna make things, like, really complicated but really, at the end of the day, like, if God's gonna do some, like, really cool stuff that can only point to him, then go for it,
I
Lord.
did tell
Like,
the girls, I was like, "Maybe this is the way that Emily becomes a viral influencer." Like, real-time recovery and adaptive fitness.
I don't know. But the thing is, like, I I took my class as somebody who, like, really needs it, and I was like, "This was really good and challenging, and I'm tired," and so I know it's,
Mhm.
like, legit. I'm just, like, trusting.
It always goes like this, though. You're like, 2024 is gonna be so great. Just like 2020, we all went into it so hopeful, and then it was like,
Blew up in our faces. Well, pretty much I was saying 2024, like, just with very open hands and being willing to say yes to whatever.
Do remember
too
that.
open, too open.
Close them just a little bit.
Far too open.
Well, and then I always wonder if, like, this is what I envision, like, I don't know, I wonder if, like, I'm having fun playing volleyball, and the Lord's like, "I'm so sorry, Emily. I have to have this, like, happen to you." Like,
Mm.
I don't know, because I know, like,
And if
it
that's the
hurts him.
sacrifice for who knows,
Yeah,
then
it's worth it. Like, I know it's worth it, but, like, that's kind of what I felt too,
yeah,
just, like, I know it probably hurt, his heart to I feel like
yeah.
Job. I don't know, like,
Mm,
"Sorry, I'm gonna take this from you, but I know that you're gonna continue to, like, give me praise and give me glory, because I'm like, how ironic, it's the foot my tattoo's on too.
yeah.
So I'm like,
Wow. Yeah.
"Okay, apart from you, I literally cannot do anything, and I'm gonna need your strength, and I'm gonna need your pain management and, like, all the things."
Emily's Achilles. The Achilles heel.
The Achilles interruption.
Hey,
Yeah.
that could go viral too, like, I'll just
And
post a
it's just
picture of
kind of
my
like,
foot.
wasn't the whole purpose of this anyway to just like share life and connect? And so like sure we meant to choose a word and talk, but it just ended up being conversation that was just conversation, not like guided.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna pray, and then we can regroup.
Okay.
God, thank you for this relationship and for this podcast and the way that it brings us together. We also thank you that you are a God who can be trusted and a God who does things on purpose. And we pray for this situation. We thank you for Emily's strength and her attitude and the way that you have stayed near her through the whole thing, especially without Kevin there. We thank you for that, God. We thank you for the timing of everything so far. Um, and just like the small details of it too, of like knowing the tech and having personal connections and getting into schedule with this guy on Thursday. God, we give you praise for all of those details. And we just pray that you would continue to just guide every step of this process. Lord, we selfishly ask um, that this wouldn't ruin our plans for spring break, that we would still be able to go on the cruise. Um, and we just pray that if that's not part of the plan, that you would just be gracious with all of the money that's been spent there already. And we just ask for, um, yeah, that you just prepare our hearts for whatever is going to happen. Um, God, we pray for your continued nearness to Emily as she grieves the loss of volleyball for now, and even just like the loss of mobility and independence. And we pray for Emily's audience too, that they would be encouraged and inspired, um, and that they would see you in all of it. This relationship, we thank you for each other, um, and we do thank you for overall health, even with semi broken bodies. So yeah, we give you praise and we trust you. Amen.
Amen. Thanks, Mom. Hey, friends. So here is the update. At the end of the day, I just want to say God is so good and He is in the details. So I got an appointment tomorrow with the ortho, and I did get my results, and I did rupture my Achilles, which means I'm going to need surgery. And they are able to get me in on Friday for surgery, which is amazing, and I'm so thankful. The bummer is Kevin is still out of town, but this is where I'm just so beyond grateful for a church family who is supporting me in so many incredible ways. I just feel so loved and cared for. My mom is on her way, so she's going to be here to be with me for the appointment tomorrow and for surgery, and then until Kevin gets home. So just super, super thankful. I feel so loved and so supported, and ready for surgery and to be on the other side of this. So thanks for all your prayers.